I've been standing in the produce section at Woolworths for 15 minutes, just looking at the strawberries, reading every label, and I can't believe what's not there. The strawberries that 8 million Australians buy every single week have been treated with chemicals that the supermarket doesn't have to put on the label. Chemicals designed to keep them red, keep them looking perfect, keep them engineered. The brand knows exactly what's in there. And there is no legal requirement to tell you. I've been sitting on information about strawberry sourcing in this country that changes everything about what you're putting in your shopping trolley. The strawberries at Coles, Woolworths, ALDI, IGA, they're not what your parents ate. They're not what strawberries are supposed to be. And here's what makes this worse. When strawberries fail food safety testing in Australia, you never hear about it. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly which 8 strawberry brands are sitting on Australian shelves right now that you need to stop buying tonight. I'll show you what's actually on those berries, what it does to your body, and I'll show you the 3 farms doing strawberries so differently that when you taste them, you'll understand why you've been eating something engineered your entire life. Stay until the end, because the number 1 worst strawberry brand is the one you've probably bought this week. It's in almost every Australian supermarket and it looks cleaner than anything else in the display. That's exactly the problem. Drop the strawberry brand you bought this week in the comments. Let's see which one comes up the most. Sunfresh has been supplying strawberries to Australian supermarkets for 17 years. They're positioned as reliable, the brand that's always there when other berries run out. But what Sunfresh doesn't advertise is that their Yarra Valley growing operations rely heavily on mancozeb, a broad-spectrum fungicide that breaks down into ethylene-based ethiocarbamout, compounds restricted in Europe since 2018. FSANZ testing from 2022 showed mancozeb residues detected in 94% of sampled strawberries from major Australian suppliers. Open a container of Sunfresh strawberries and smell them from 5 centimeters away. You won't smell much because these berries are deliberately bred for shelf life and visual uniformity, not aromatic compounds. That's what no smell means. That's what's been sacrificed in the breeding program. This targets Australian families who see Yarra Valley on a label and think they're choosing local and therefore safe. Sunfresh. Trusted for 17 years, built on fungicide residue that starts in the soil. Driscoll's is everywhere, year-round supply. What they're not telling you is that maintaining perfect strawberries in December requires genetic selection for density over sugar, combined with post-harvest ethylene gas treatment. A 2021 University of Western Australia analysis found that Driscoll's strawberries required ethylene gas treatment in 87% of batches to achieve that retail red colour. Cut one in half. The flesh is almost translucent. That's not ripeness. That's selective breeding for storage. This targets elderly Australians reaching for consistent supply. Driscoll's. Consistent in supply. Inconsistent with nature. Coles brand accounts for 1/4 of all strawberries sold in Coles supermarkets. The budget choice. What's invisible is that Coles uses post-harvest thiabendazole dipping, the same active ingredient in human antifungal creams. A 2023 choice. Australia investigation found thiabendazole residues on 82% of tested samples. Bite into a Coles brand berry and you taste a lingering bitterness that masks aren't hiding. That's chemical residue your body is processing. This targets families shopping on tight budgets. Coles brand, saving you money, charging you with chemistry. I want to pause here for a second, because what I'm about to show you in the next 3 brands, this is where it gets genuinely disturbing. Stay with me. Woolworths Select is premium positioned at a 40% markup. What you're not told is that this premium pricing reflects a proprietary post-harvest wax coating designed to extend shelf life to 21 days. Food Safe Australia revealed the coating contains synthetic polymer additives, technically food safe, but specifically designed to create visual ripeness signals. Rub your thumb across a Woolworths Select strawberry. That slippery sensation isn't the berry, it's the coating. Wipe your thumb on white paper and you'll see the residue transfer. That's what you're rubbing into your mouth. This targets people believing they're choosing premium quality by paying more. Woolworths Select, premium in price, premium in cosmetic engineering. Strawberries, etc. is positioned as ethical and farmer-focused, sold at significant premium with language about regional growers. But their sustainability story is incomplete. While avoiding synthetic fungicides, they use copper-based organic fungicide combined with sulfur dust that involves higher pesticide residue loads than conventional systems. Testing from 2023 found copper residues 3 times higher than conventional strawberries. The marketing tells one story, chemistry tells another. Pick up a strawberries, etc. berry and rub it between your fingers. They turn grey from sulfur dust coating. That's the fungicide. That's organic certification. This targets people thinking they're intelligent, choosing organic. Strawberries, etc., marketed as natural, treated like a crop. We're halfway through. And the 5 brands coming up are significantly worse than everything you've heard so far. The brand at number 1, I genuinely couldn't believe it. ALDI Select strawberries come from King Valley Farms using sequential mancozeb, thiabendazole, and azoxystrobin sprays. A 2023 independent audit documented residues of all 3 fungicides on 98% of tested samples. Azoxystrobin breaks down into cresoxymethyl, designated as probable human carcinogen in some international assessments. Bite into an ALDI Select strawberry and you're struck by complete tastelessness. Not bland, specifically scientifically tasteless. That absence of taste is the absence of sugars and aromatics sacrificed for shelf life. This targets working Australians and tradies, buying strawberries as quick snacks at budget prices. ALDI Select, cheap berries, expensive chemistry. Specialty Imports brings California berries through specialty distributors, marketed as ultimate quality. California strawberries are treated with 1,3-dichloropropene fumigant banned in the EU in 2018 over carcinogenic risk. When they arrive in Australia, they've been through multiple chemical treatment steps, not documented on retail labels. University of Melbourne researchers found imported California strawberries contain 5 to 7 different pesticide residues combined. Cut into a specialty imports berry, and the flesh is almost translucent, pale pink, indicating it was picked before ripeness and artificially ripened with ethylene gas. This targets people considering themselves sophisticated, willing to pay premium for imported products. Specialty imports, premium pricing, imported problems. IGA Home Brand is the second largest private label strawberry supplier in Australian supermarkets. What's invisible is that IGA uses pre-harvest ethylene gas in final 2 weeks to trigger external colour before actual ripeness. Post-harvest, they're treated with petroleum-derived polymer wax. FSANZ allows this because polymers are generally recognized as safe, but that petroleum origin is rarely disclosed. Open an IGA home brand pack and smell deeply inside the container before touching anything. You'll smell slightly chemical, slightly plasticky scent real strawberries don't produce. That's ethylene residue and petroleum polymer coating interacting with natural berry esters. This targets families making regular shopping trips wanting reliable availability. IGA Home. Brand. Reliable in stock. Reliable in compromise. Countdown Select is Australia's largest volume strawberry supplier, sending millions of kilograms into Australian supermarkets, schools, hospitals, food service every year. Positioned as simply the standard, the invisible baseline. They're invisible for a reason. Countdown uses mancozeb, triadymphon, and phosphatyl aluminium, a three-part fungicide rotation designed to prevent resistance, not ensure consumer protection. A 2022 confidential FSANZ testing report showed combined residues of all three fungicides in 73% of samples, approaching individual safety thresholds. Triadymphon accumulates in fatty tissue over time. Pick up a Countdown Select strawberry and bite the center without chewing. Notice how it almost collapses in your mouth. That softness is breeding for yield, not integrity, combined with ripening treatments, making berries appear mature while biologically incomplete. This targets people making neutral baseline choices, unaware the baseline itself has moved. Countdown Select. Invisibly everywhere. Invisibly compromised. One brand left. And I've been saving this one because when I found out what this brand has been doing, quietly, legally, for years, I had to sit with it for a moment. Perfection Strawberries is premium, exclusively high-end retailers, priced 2 to 3 times conventional berries, marketed with hand selection and berry perfection language. They've perfected making strawberries look, feel, and last longer than any other berry in Australia. They've achieved this through individually legal practices that collectively represent complete departure from what strawberries are. Harvested at hard pink stage, then treated with proprietary ethylene gas, abscisic acid, and specialized wax coating inducing external ripening while preventing internal sugar development. Independent 2024 investigation revealed Perfection berries score bottom 15% for sugar content, despite top 5% for visual appearance and shelf life. A Perfection strawberry sits on your bench 3 full weeks without browning, softening, or degradation. That's not quality, that's chemistry. Cut one open and look at the flesh. Deep red throughout indicates actual ripeness. Perfection berries have bright white or pale pink flesh inside, despite perfect red exterior. That contrast proves external ripening treatment and internal development are completely disconnected. This targets wealthy Australians and health-conscious consumers, believing they're choosing ultimate quality, perfection, premium in every way, except the one way that actually matters. Right. You know what to stop buying. But I promise this wouldn't just be warning, it would be solution. Because 3 Australian farms are doing strawberries so completely differently that when you taste them, you understand why strawberries used to be seasonal treats, not year-round engineered products. Bangholm Farm has been growing strawberries in the Dandenongs for 23 years after the owner's daughter developed sensitivity to conventional pesticides. Their ingredient list is 8 items: strawberry, soil, water, sunlight, beneficial insects, minimal sulfur dusting in wet seasons only, nitrogen from composted farm waste. That's it. Open a container and the smell hits immediately. Aggressive, almost perfume-like intensity. The berries are smaller, variable color, bruise easily, need eating within 3 days. All of this, smaller size, variable color, bruising, short shelf life, is what actual strawberry ripeness looks like. Switch for 2 weeks and your taste buds recalibrate. You'll notice sugar, notice texture. Go back to supermarket strawberries and you'll taste the absence. Bangholm berries cost $14 per kilogram at farmers markets. That extra cost pays for actual strawberries, not end cap displays and television commercials. Rosie's Organic Farm is certified organic, supplies selected IGA stores and specialty grocers across Victoria. 9-item ingredient list. Strawberry, organic compost enriched soil, on-site spring water, beneficial nematodes, organic sulfur dust during flowering only, organic potassium bicarbonate for mildew, pollen-friendly native plantings, copper sulfate as last resort only. Open a container, and berry variation is immediately obvious. Different rates of ripening, different darkness, different sizes. This visual inconsistency is biological reality proof. Cut into a Rosie's berry and flesh is deep red throughout, meaning inside ripened with outside, meaning actually ripe before picking. That's what ripe tastes like. After 2 weeks, most people report craving berries midday. That's not addiction, that's body recognizing actual nutrition. Rosie's berries cost $12 per kilogram. That extra cost buys berries grown to taste like something, not look like something. Berry Theory supplies farmers markets and co-op groceries across New South Wales and Queensland, focusing on heritage strawberry varieties that fell out of commercial favour because they bruised easily and didn't last 3 weeks on shelves. But they taste like strawberries from 30 years ago. 10-item ingredient list using slightly complex organic system for cooler, more humid climate. Strawberry, brewery and bakery waste compost enriched soil, water, parasitic wasps targeting strawberry pests, minimal neem oil application, spring only, compost tea building beneficial soil bacteria, organic sulfur dust during flowering, organic potassium bicarbonate, aged wood mulch. Smell them and aroma is almost overwhelming compared to supermarket berries. Bite into one and texture is slightly grainy, slightly uneven. This is what strawberry complexity actually tastes like. 3 weeks of eating Berry Theory and most people stop craving engineered sweetness. Palate is retraining itself to recognize real flavor. Costs $13 per kilogram. That extra cost subsidizes actual farming, actual ripeness, actual taste. The strawberry at perfection. That looks perfect but tastes like chemistry and stays 3 weeks on your shelf. That's what you've been trained strawberries are. The strawberries from Bang Hom that taste like strawberries and need eating in 3 days. That's what strawberries actually are. Go to your supermarket right now. Pick up every strawberry container from Perfection, Countdown Select, and IGA Home Brand. If you see those brands, they go in the bin tonight. Send this to one Australian who's been buying supermarket strawberries every week without realizing what they're buying. Subscribe to Fair Dinkum Food because what's on the front of the packet is never the full story.